I don't think we're gonna have anything like the Wii again. And that makes me really, really sad. For those of you who are not familiar with this 18-year-old console, the Wii was this little white monolith you would put on top of your TV stand, and using a robust controller, motion controller, one of the first of its kind, allow you to play several games with your friends and family. Its marketing was wonderful. These two businessmen would show up to your door, hand you the remote, and immediately you and your immediate friend and family group would start playing these games. And I think what the Wii succeeded at the most was communicability. What made the Wii so special is how quickly and how well it immersed you in a space where other people can join in. I don't think any console has been able to do the same thing since. I think the Kinect nearly did something similar, but was ultimately too esoteric. The games you would play, whether it be tennis or bowling or baseball, were all motions that were intuitive to the physical action. You could play golf and you'd stand in the same stance as you'd play golf in, right? You would swing your arm the way you'd swing a ball, and if you want to be really funny, you'd let go of it and it'd roll back at your friends. No, I'm upset we're not getting anything like it again, because I think even with Nintendo's newest offering, the Switch, even as it's built in such a way that it is both portable, like the GameCube was, has some motion control capabilities, the way that the Wii did, and has two controllers built in. I think that's really, really interesting. I don't think it's as compelling visually or narratively. This is not to go all retro on all of you. I still think this Switch is very interesting, but I think that when Switch Sports came out, I remember there being something of a pushback, like a bit of a pushback toward it, because ultimately a lot of the games, a lot of the iconic games didn't translate as well to the gyroscopic motion control that the Switch shows off, right? The Wii's popularity was insane. When you were a kid in the 2000s, everyone's family had a Wii. If you were committed between the years of 2010 and 2015, you might have seen a Wii in the psych ward. Better yet, you might still see a Wii in the psych ward. Nowadays, it was such a universal phenomena that held a very, very specific but iron grip on humanity. And I speak in great appreciation of it because, you know, a lot of my early social memories were actually done around a Wii, right? Everyone had one, getting one for Christmas, or going to a friend's house to play Super Smash Bros. And bringing your own controllers because everyone had one. I'm trying to think of what equivalent there is now, right? We have a lot less incentive to sit around or interact with each other because we can do that very, very easily through different means. I remember when Bluetooth, this is just gonna be me dating myself. This is just gonna be a video about me being old. I remember there being Bluetooth games, right, on your iPhone, wherein you two can connect to each other and play a co-op shooter or air hockey. You could play air hockey with each other, and that was fun. I think one of the most interesting things is that it was inconvenient, right? I think one of the interesting and wonderful things about gaming back in the day is that it was somewhat inconvenient. Nowadays, it's really, really easy to get whatever you want, especially with those game pigeon games, right? You don't even need to be in the same time. You don't even need to be in the same space playing it. It's all these turn-based games that you can play at your own leisure over the course of a couple of weeks until somebody gets a win. It's good that it's convenient. It's good that we're still playing games together, but I think there's something magical about inconveniencing someone else. Is that what it is? Inconveniencing someone. I think there's something magical about setting time aside to interact with somebody. Like not being an adult, because kids and adults both do this, but being mature enough to say that you're valuable enough for me to spend my time with you, and setting up that arrangement and following through with it and having those experiences. Because even with this, because I think online play, nothing wrong with online play in and of itself, but I think that there's something to be said about couch co-op, and that it's being phased out by the gaming sphere, by gaming industries, kind of makes me a little sick to my stomach. I don't want to have to bring my own console over for us to play a game together. I think the Wii was so universal. So just blanketly all-encompassing towards people of older and younger generations at the same time. Like, your dad was playing Wii, your grandpa was playing Wii. I want to be proven wrong, but it feels like it was the last great communal console. I don't think you get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox One to play with anyone but yourself. And as communal as the Switch can be, as fun as it can be to whip it out in a camping trip and play video games in the forest, I still think it fits into a lot of like gaming esoterica that can be hard to access. Even the most accessible games, like the sports game or the working out game, I feel like are mired or based in the traditions of classic gaming that spawn all the way back to like the 1980s. And that's not wrong. It's good to have an homage for us gamers, right? But the way anime feels so mainstream now that everyone sort of has a stake in it, and that people aren't surprised to know or hear that you enjoy that stuff anymore, to a great degree, not everywhere and all at once. But I feel like to that degree, I feel like that moment for gaming was the Wii. And since the Wii, we've been moving a little bit further away from normies. And maybe we should be okay with that. Maybe we should be okay with reconsecrating our space. But I don't know, at least for me, it's been hard to enjoy games. And that's in part because of a bit of conditioning I've done with myself and believing them not to be productive. But I think another part being that social games fit this very, very thin sliver of gaming nowadays anymore. And I'm constantly looking back on the Wii's ubiquity and wishing it would come back. Ding ding ding, 10 minutes.